tabernáculo, el Mishkan, es una continuación de la montaña.
Of Sinai. So that means that on Sinai, we all the people as a nation as a whole had like prophecy.
Una continuación de la montaña del Sinaí, donde todos como pueblo llegamos a un nivel de recibir algo como profecía.
Not como, we had prophecy. Not como.
No como, tuvimos profecía.
Right. And more and just that the people weren't ready weren't prepared for it.
Pero la gente no estaba preparada para eso.
Because the people could, because it says the people couldn't bear it, and people actually died, and they had to be revived from the death. And
De hecho, se nos dice que hubo personas que de hecho murieron y tuvieron que ser resucitadas.
that means they're not prepared, and they're not prepared.
No estaban preparadas.
But we said we demanded it, so Hashem gave in to our demand.
Pero es que nosotros se lo pedimos, se lo exigimos a Hashem y Él nos lo concedió, escucharlo.
Okay, and so, but we were given a peak experience, at least for that moment.
Se nos permitió una probadita, una experiencia previa o de probadita.
Peak.
Asomarnos a ver lo que estaba por venir.
No, that's not what peak means.
Well, like a thriller for a movie.
It means something like that, yeah. Like when you see.
Cuando se nos concede ver unos minutos de lo que va a ser una película. Es la probadita.
Right, but peak experience. No, that's not what it means. I'm sorry.
Bueno,
the peak experience means like the top of a mountain is called a peak.
Bueno, a la parte más alta de una montaña le llamamos el pico.
That's what I'm talking about, peak experience. I'm talking about when we were
Entonces,
given one moment at the top of the mountain. That's what I'm talking about.
Fue un momento en la parte más alta de la montaña.
Right. And afterwards, of course, we had to come down. We had to come down from this. We couldn't stay there.
Y no pudimos permanecer ahí. Teníamos que volver abajo.
Right, but at least we always know what to aspire to.
Pero al menos sabemos a qué podemos aspirar.
Because it's burned into this thing was burned into our consciousness.
Porque esto fue quemado en nuestras conciencias, marcado.
Good. And so the Mishkan is going to be at least the measure of closeness to Hashem that we can handle at the moment.
Entonces el tabernáculo va a ser la medida de acercamiento que podemos tolerar con Hashem.
Okay, because you have a place, and when a person prepares themselves, and on occasion, whatever it is, and they're moved, internally moved.
Es un lugar donde la persona es conmovida internamente.
When a person, it's a place that when a person prepares themselves,
Es un lugar en donde cuando la persona se prepara
and the person's moved in their heart, inspired.
y en su corazón es inspirada.
So, and then in that moment, that's also like a peak moment of them in their lives that they can approach this place.
Ese momento en sus vidas es como este de acercamiento.
A peak moment of their life. A peak
Un
moment. The peak, again,
momento
exactly as I said it
sublime
before, peak.
de lo más alto en sus
Exactly. And
vidas.
so in that peak moment of their life, they can approach this place of the Mikdash.
Y en ese momento más alto de sus vidas pueden acercarse.
Of course, even in their life, you can't remain at the peak, and then you're gonna you come down. But when you come down, so you go turn around, and you go home, you go back home.
Y claro que no se puede permanecer ahí siempre. Luego de uno de descender y retirarse y irse a su casa.
Right. But after after a time, you calm down and you get yourself together and you approach again. That's all.
Y luego, después de un tiempo que se tranquiliza o se calma, se pasa, puede volver.
And you okay. And like this, and really this cycle will produce like a cycle of growth and
Y así se va a producir este ciclo de crecimiento.
that always you have this peak experience, I mean, in front of you.
Que siempre tenemos este momento alto de experiencia frente a nosotros.
And so the Beit HaMikdash strengthens the consciousness of this thing.
El templo despierta esta conciencia en nosotros.
It strengthens this consciousness that we have in us already.
Fortalece esta conciencia que ya tenemos dentro de nosotros.
And because I mean the Sinai is basically we were commanded in this with the strongest language of commandments, not never to forget it.
Se nos ordenó en el lenguaje más fuerte que jamás lo olvidemos.
Right, and so the Ramban says that the Mikdash is a continuation of Sinai.
Entonces el Rambán dice que el tabernáculo, el Mishkan, es una continuación de Sinaí.
Okay, and it says in the verse, you could find this in chapter 25, verse 8.
Podemos encontrar un verso en el capítulo 25 de Shemot, verso 8.
That you should make a Mikdash and I will dwell in among you.
Harán para mí un santuario para que more en medio de ellos.
Okay, and so that means it's not just the word among you is not just so much as I will dwell in the house. I mean, it's not so much that.
No nos está diciendo que va a morar en la casa.
Right, because it says among you, so it means to the individuals themselves.
Porque dice aquí que es a los individuos en ellos mismos.
And so that means that's what we're explaining, that the purpose is not just, the ultimate purpose is not for the wood and the stones. I mean,
El propósito final no se refiere a la madera y las piedras.
right. So the point of this is only to influence on us, to change us, change a person.
Todo esto se refiere a nosotros, a cambiarnos a nosotros.
Right. And, right. So, if so, I mean, I'm saying based on Rav Hirsch and other sources. I mean,
Y si así fuere, basándome en el Rav Hirsch y otras fuentes.
And other sources, that the Mishkan itself symbolizes a human being,
Que el tabernáculo en sí representa o señala a otros seres,
a human being
al ser humano,
who is perfected themselves and is ready to connect with Hashem.
al ser humano que se ha perfeccionado a sí mismo y se encuentra listo para conectarse con Hashem.
Okay, so if you remember the ladder we did, so that's kind of like the top of the ladder there.
Si recuerdan la escalera que estuvimos estudiando, esto corresponde a la parte más elevada de esa escalera.
Okay, and because we could see a lot of things. I mean, for
Podemos ver
example, when they made a fire on the altar,
algunos incidentes como cuando hicieron el fuego en el altar.
so fire came down from heaven also.
El fuego también descendió del cielo.
So that's exactly how the Ramchal describes that, the highest step over there.
Y así es como el Ramjal describe ese nivel más alto de la escalera.
Right. So right, and so therefore the Mikdash will symbolize a person in this like state of perfection.
El templo o el Mikdash va a representar a la persona en el estado de la perfección.
Right, and the priest, the priest doing the service also that represents this perfection of service
Y el
of Hashem.
sacerdote que lleva a cabo los rituales también es como representando la cercanía a la perfección.
Perfection of service of Hashem.
Perfección del servicio a Hashem.
Right, and so therefore this is the kind of thing that a person who went for a visit there is encountering.
Entonces, aquí lo vamos a ver, a conocer como si lo que va encontrando una persona que llega a visitar.
This is what he encounters. He encounters this symbolic
Esto es lo que
perfection of service and
una perfección simbólica en el servicio.
Okay. And and plus you have you got a sense, a palpable sense of how the presence of Hashem was there.
Y también logra percibir una presencia palpable de Hashem ahí.
Okay, because you had miracles. There was a series of miracles that always went on over there.
Hubo una serie de milagros que sucedían ahí.
And but this but there's no way to express like what people felt when they were in the Mikdash. I mean,
No hay manera de imaginar, entender, describir lo que la gente sentía al entrar al Mikdash, al
right.
templo.
Some of the psalms of King David, he tried. There's a way. It expresses this thing. He tries to express what it feels like to be in the Mikdash. Some of the
El rey David en algunos salmos trató de expresar lo que eso se sentía.
Right, even though it wasn't built in his time, but he was able to. I guess he was able to imagine it, or he was able to understand it.
Aunque el templo no estaba construido en vida del rey David, él podía imaginarlo.
Right, and he had the Mishkan there, so he may have been in the Mishkan sometimes. I'm not sure. It could be that he was sometime in the course of his life. The Mishkan was still around, and so he could have visited. He could have visited.
No tenía el templo, pero en su tiempo el tabernáculo con el arca estaba disponible y él pudo estar inspirado en eso cuando lo escribió.
Right, and because it was displaced for 56 years, but the king, but he lived for 70 years. So there were some years. Most of those years were during his lifetime. So, but maybe when he was very young,
El tabernáculo duró 56 años fuera del alcance, pero el rey David vivió 70 años. Entonces pudiera ser que cuando él era más pequeño, él lo experimentó, lo logró ver.
right. Let's see. About the temple was built. How many years into King Solomon's reign was the temple built? Maybe
8, I guess. No,
8 years.
I think.
Uh,
¿Alguien
no,
recuerdan
I think it's
cuántos
more.
años
I think it's more. So
del reinado
you
del
know
rey
what?
Shlomo para cuando se
Uh,
construyó el templo?
okay. So you know what? Whatever the case is, according to my figuring out that King David must have been like in his 20s when the Mishkan
When the Mishkan was what?
was destroyed by the Plishtim.
Oh, ok. El rey David debió haber andado en sus 20 años de edad cuando el tabernáculo fue desmantelado.
Okay. I'm not. It wasn't. This that they took away the ark, and so maybe it went out of function at the time.
Cuando retiraron el arca del tabernáculo, debió haber dejado de funcionar el tabernáculo.
Okay. Right, and so the sanctity wasn't the same after that.
Entonces la santidad del tabernáculo sin el arca ya no era lo mismo.
Okay. All right. So now we'll go into some of the vessels that were in the thing, and we'll see what we can learn about it.
Bueno, ahora vamos a ver los muebles o recipientes dentro del tabernáculo para ver qué podemos aprender de ello.
Okay, and it starts with the first one that the parsha goes into is the ark.
Bueno, el primero que la parashá menciona es el arca.
Okay, in the ark you had the Torah.
En el arca estaba dentro la Torá.
And the Ten Commandments that Moses had, those tablets with the Ten Commandments.
También estaban las tabletas de piedra donde fueron escritos los 10 mandamientos.
Right, and overall, sometimes the Mishkan itself is referred to as the Mishkan of the testimony.
Con frecuencia se le menciona al tabernáculo como el tabernáculo del testimonio.
And the Torah is called the testimony. These things, the Torah that we have is like the testimony of God. And
A la Torá se le llama el testimonio de Hashem.
It testifies that God is with us.
Porque testifica que Hashem está con nosotros.
And so we have in the in the holiest place, the holy of holies, of the temple, of the Mishkan.
Entonces, en el lugar santísimo del templo y del tabernáculo,
The holiest place that there is in there.
el lugar más santo que hay allí.
And so that was the place of the Torah.
Ese fue el lugar de la Torá.
And the high priest only was allowed to approach there once a year.
El sumo sacerdote solo tenía permitido adentrarse allí una vez al año.
And this is only on the Day of Atonement. When everybody was fasting.
Solamente en el día del perdón, cuando todos estaban ayunando.
Right. And so this is expressed as kind of how supreme the Torah is to us.
Esto va a expresar qué tan suprema es la Torá para nosotros.
That how a person should look at the Torah. That the Torah is the wisdom of God.
¿Cómo es que la Torá es para nosotros?
Okay. How it is that a
Expresa la
person should look at the
sabiduría.
Torah. That the Torah is the wisdom of God.
La Torá es la sabiduría del Eterno.
And it's very great, and it's much greater than any human knowledge of anything.
Es más grande que cualquier conocimiento humano.
And so therefore, even just to approach it, only a human being can barely even approach this thing, really.
Un humano apenas que si puede acercarse.
Right, and it was kept in the container, and the ark was gold outside, gold inside.
Ese contenedor, esa arca, tenía oro por fuera y por dentro.
And in between they had wood and
Entre el oro había madera.
right. So it's explained by many commentaries that the wood is a human is a human like a human being.
Entonces, varios comentaristas dicen que la madera es como la humanidad o la naturaleza humana.
A human being, and
Perdón, un ser humano.
and the gold outside and inside expresses that if you want to receive the Torah, then you have to perfect your character externally and internally.
Y el oro exterior e interior representa que si nosotros queremos servir al Eterno, debemos de
Not so
perfeccionar.
receive the Torah. If you want to receive the Torah,
Perdón, si nosotros queremos recibir la Torah, debemos perfeccionar nuestro carácter, tanto lo exterior como lo interior.
okay, it's not enough just to look good on the outside. And,
No basta con vernos bien por fuera.
right on the top, they had two cherubs, sitting on top of the ark there.
En la tapadera de esta arca había dos figuras sentados allá arriba.
And one was male, and they say one was male and one was female. And
Uno varón y otro femenino, mujer.
right, but anyhow, that also represent that this is explained by some of the commentaries
Y esto lo explican algunos de los comentaristas,
that these two, I mean, they would sit, I mean, on top there, they would face each other.
estas figuras estaban viéndose de frente, uno en cada extremo.
And so it expresses like people who are partners in dedicating themselves to study.
Y esto nos representa como gentes dedicadas al estudio.
Okay, because the study always it said that the study should always be done with a partner in Torah.
Porque está dicho que el estudio de Torah siempre debe de realizarse con un compañero.
Okay, there's always a rule. Two is better than one. And,
Es una regla, dos es mejor que uno.
so you shouldn't be like left with just in your own mind what you think yourself, and that's it.
No debiéramos estudiar o quedarnos con nuestros puros propios pensamientos.
Okay, but you have to have a dialogue with somebody else.
Uno debe de tener un diálogo con alguien más.
Okay, but the dialogue is between two people who are sincere and really God fearing.
Un diálogo entre dos personas sinceras, temerosas de Hashem.
that's why they face each other, because they show that expresses togetherness.
Por eso es que encaran uno al otro, están de frente uno al otro.
That expresses togetherness.
Eso expresa un acercamiento.
Right, and they say that when Hashem wasn't happy with us, that they would turn away from each other.
Y se dice que cuando Hashem no estaba contento con nosotros, esas figuras se volteaban, no permanecían viéndose uno al otro.
And so that means, so that's a certain way that we've lost our focus on helping each other to understand the Torah.
Y eso nos enseña que en esos momentos hemos perdido nuestro enfoque, nos hemos olvidado de ayudarnos unos a otros
To understand the Torah.
para entender la Torah.
Okay, and so even the sages have a saying, either a study partner or death, and the sages say.
Y los sabios tienen un dicho: o con un compañero para estudiar o la muerte.
Right, because it's really looked at as without somebody's help, a person's really not gonna grow in learning too much.
Porque queda claro que sin un compañero la persona no va a crecer mucho.
Okay, and the ark had these beams that were made there to hold it.
El arca tenía estas barras para sostenerla.
Right, so they say that expresses that it's our task to uphold the Torah.
Eso dicen que representa nuestra tarea para sostener la Torah.
And that means to, in all fashions. In terms of dedication of study, that's one thing.
En todas las facetas. Número uno, en el estudio de la Torah.
And our own dedication for study.
Nuestra propia dedicación en el estudio.
B, to make sure that we as a people will dedicate ourselves to teach our children.
Y número dos, que nosotros como pueblo nos dediquemos a enseñar a nuestros hijos de la Torah.
So that means hiring teachers and hiring rabbis and making sure we have rabbis and supporting them.
Eso se refiere a que nosotros busquemos maestros, busquemos rabinos, respaldemos y sostengamos a estos rabinos.
Okay, so all the schools that we have, which are in the Jewish communities, are very are the most important thing.
Todas las escuelas que se tienen en las comunidades judías son muy importantes.
Most important.
De lo más importante.
Right, and they say that that when they traveled, that it really, the beams didn't carry. Really, the people didn't carry the ark. The ark somehow carried the people, they said.
Y se nos explica, se nos dice que cuando estaba viajando el tabernáculo, la gente realmente no cargaba el arca por medio de estas vigas, sino que el arca más bien llevaba a los que cargaban las vigas.
Okay, so that's all. That's what we should know. That the first thing is to make sure that we dedicate ourselves to study. I mean,
entonces, lo primero es asegurarnos de que dedicamos tiempo para el estudio.
And when we're dedicated, the supporters will come already. Hashem will send the support.
Ya una vez que nos dediquemos al estudio, el respaldo llegará.
Right, and there is in our history there's one incident which is which is to bring out this thing very strongly.
En nuestra historia hay un incidente que recalca esto de manera muy fuerte.
That means when they were bringing the ark to Jerusalem with King David.
Cuando con el rey David estaban llevando el arca a Jerusalén.
And I think that's where they were going.
Creo que allí iban. Medusa.
But at that time, it says that one of the people, you see, it seemed to be that the ark was slipping.
En aquel día, a alguien le pareció que el arca se estaba ladeando.
And Uzzah reached out and tried to stop it from falling.
Y Uzzah se acometió a tratar de evitar que se cayera.
And but then he died.
Pero al hacerlo, murió.
Because you're not allowed to touch you weren't allowed to touch the ark. You're only allowed to touch those beams that hold it.
Porque no se nos permite tocar el arca, solo las vigas que la sostienen.
Right. So I think they explained it that if you touch it, then you act as if you're supporting it.
Si uno toca el arca, es como si uno estuviera sosteniendo o que uno cargara al arca.
This is some of the commentaries when they're explaining this thing. This is how they explain it there.
Así es como algunos de los comentaristas lo explican.
So when he so by touching, right, so that's why he deserved death over there when he touched it.
Esa es la razón por la que él merecía la muerte al haberla tocado.
And so really, even though we're slipping, he should have realized that he doesn't have to grab it to hold it up. It didn't need him to hold it up.
Y aunque la viera deslizándose o cayéndose, no debía de haberla tocado.
Right. He should have kept in mind that it didn't need him to hold it.
Él debió saber que el arca no lo necesitaba a él para sostenerse.
Okay, but it slipped his mind in that second.
Pero se le escapó ese dato de su mente en ese segundo.
Okay, so that's what we have for today about the ark, and we'll see if there's any questions.
Vamos a ver si hay preguntas, porque eso es lo que tenemos para hoy. A ver. Well, we have a lot of greetings. I have a question. Mientras ustedes escriben, yo pregunto, ¿por qué el tabernáculo se desmanteló cuando ya no tuvo arca, pero el segundo templo se construyó sin arca? How come the Mishkan was kind of abolished when it lacked the ark, but the second temple was built without an ark and functioned
Well,
without an ark?
it's discussed in the Gemara. What they say is, where it says in the Gemara in the Talmud is that once it was sanctified, that place was sanctified, so the sanctity didn't go away, even if it was only. But in the base of Mikdash was like.
La respuesta es dada en la Gemara y es que el hecho de que una vez que un lugar es santificado,
not un lugar, only that specific place, not un lugar. That specific place was sanctified in such a way that it doesn't go away.
No un lugar, ese lugar que fue santificado de una manera especial, no va a perder su santidad aunque no tuviera el arca.
Right. And even now, it's the sanctity is still there, and that's why we say we're not allowed to go up there and onto the mountain.
Hasta el día de hoy, ese lugar guarda su santidad. Por eso no se nos está permitido subir a ese monte. So the Kotel is on a lower level?
No, yeah, the Kotel is outside the part that's considered holy.
Le pregunto yo al Rab, entonces el Kotel, el muro donde se va a rezar, no está en esa área santificada, y me dice, no, está por fuera, está en el límite de afuera del área santificada. Ok, Selma dice, cuando se habla de tabernáculo, ¿no se habla de ese espacio interior que se construye en el corazón para el Creador?
Right.
When we speak about the Mishkan, don't we speak about that interior place that was built in our hearts for the Creator?
Sure, but we said in the class that it symbolizes a person.
Dijimos en la clase que el Mishkan simboliza a la persona.
But it was a real place. It was a real thing. It wasn't just a symbolic thing. It was real.
Pero también era un lugar real, no nomás era simbólico.
Right, and if you real all our explanation about the ark all related to a person to a person, how a person should be, and didn't we say that all our explanation about it? No.
Y todo lo que explicamos, dijimos que tenía directa relación cómo una persona debe de ser.
All our explanation about the ark, that we did today, for example.
Toda la explicación del arca que hicimos hoy. Ok, Batia. Buenos días, Rabino y Margarita. Yo quiero preguntar cómo era la forma de los panes en el Mishkan, porque ahora los hacemos diferentes, porque si eran 12, ahora hacemos solo 2 y su forma es distinta. Batia wants to know about how the bread was done over there at the Mishkan.
Yeah.
And the fact that there were 12 and we only do 2 now.
Yeah. Well, we don't claim that we're making a mishkan in our house. I mean, we don't claim that that's what we're doing. I mean.
Bueno, pues cuando hacemos el pan, no estamos pregonando que estamos adentro o en un mishkan en nuestra casa.
And then there are some kabbalistically that they do use 12 for each meal.
Hay algunos cabalistas que sí usan los 12 panes en cada comida
On Shabbos. I mean,
para Shabbat. So they bake 36
you can
or
bake.
24.
No, they don't have to eat. They don't eat all 12 for the meal. They don't eat 12 breads. They
Ajá.
they uh, they use 12 for the blessing, but they eat one one or two, whatever. They don't eat all of
Ah,
them. Or maybe they have guests. They can make 12 small ones, and then so each meal they can have 12 small breads. They have a lot of
Pueden
guests.
poner 12 panes pequeños en la mesa,
Yeah.
pero pues solo van a comer uno. O tal vez lo
Right.
hagan así para cuando tienen muchos invitados.
But anyhow, I didn't talk about the breads today at all.
Bueno,
Perhaps
pero de cualquier
we're going to talk
forma,
about it. We're going to get to that perhaps in upcoming days. But I didn't talk about that. I didn't talk about it
hoy
at all.
no hablamos del pan y en los días que siguen tal vez lo toquemos. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Be well, everybody. Everything good?
Que
Shalom
todos
Atodos.
estén bien. Shalom.
And thank you for the translations. Gracias por traducir.
Thank you for teaching us, Rab.
Okay,
Gracias
be
por
well. Be
enseñarnos,
well,
Rab.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.